All right, let's do GBG. I'm getting some text messages from some people who say they're my friends and don't come to my party.
Are they people you know, though?
I got on a bike ride with them.
Okay.
Does that make him a friend?
Yeah,
Scott?
that's
Maybe.
that's good.
Scott, I would invite you to my party.
Okay.
Kyle, what's going on at GBG?
All right. Brandy Glanville sat down with, I know this is going to shock you that I'm actually talking about the Jeff Probst show, but Brandy Glanville sat down with Jeff Probst and opened up about her ex-husband's affair. Now, she's done this before, but maybe not quite in the depth that she did with Jeff Probst. She said that at the time she was married to Eddie Cibrian, Leanne Rimes was also married, and they would go to dinner as couples, and then she started noticing some weird chemistry, so she kind of had to put an end to it.
And the reason it is so bad is because we're sitting there and she's pretending that we're pals and she's sleeping with my husband. Finally, I got so uncomfortable with the way I felt when I was around Eddie and Leanne together. I said, I think she really, really likes you and more than likes you. And he's like, you're crazy, you're jealous, you're cut to. I was right the whole time.
And
I was having
hence
sex
why-
with her, and she didn't bring it up at all. So,
I think the Jeff Probst show could be pretty successful if he fixes his microphone.
What was
That's all I
that?
was at.
Or does Brandy Glanville
Just having some issues.
she speaks in clips?
Yeah.
She speaks in
basically
edited
it.
clips.
Yeah, very odd, but yes, gives you some inside scoop there. That I actually did not know that before, that, Leanne Rimes was pretending to be her friend.
That's not
let me
cool.
tell you
Does make it
something.
worse.
If Leanne Rimes comes over to your house for a dinner party, she's got one thing on her mind, and that's it. You should know that from now on. If she ever comes,
And
she
what
comes
is
to your
that?
house, she wants to sleep with your husband.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind next time Leanne Rimes
She's
comes
like a
over to my
chupacabra.
house. It'll be like never. Lindsay Lohan, you guys, was rushed to the hospital. Now, this is a headline that probably most tabloid journalists just have like in a one key because it's going to happen at any point, right? She had a lung infection and an asthma attack or some sort of respiratory problem. Don't freak out. It was probably just from the 78 cigarettes she smokes each day.
Ugh.
I know, it's gross. But they pumped her full of antibiotics. She's back in her hotel room. She's recovering.
You
Her
think she's
dad
still
says
smoking?
that this is something that's been bothering her for weeks. It's been an ongoing condition. It wasn't just a surprise out of nowhere. But they figured since it got worse, they wanted to have her treated. And they did. And she's doing just fine now. She's doing just fine. Katy Perry and John Mayer are, well, they're still hot and heavy. Friends are a little worried, though, because Katy Perry is head over heels, so in love. Now, at first, this thing started out as just like, cash, sort of hanging up, maybe hooking up, booty call at night, whatever. But now that they're hanging out all the time, her friends are warning her, he could drop you at any minute, just like he already did after weeks of dating. And then they got back together, and now instead of keeping a cool distance, Katie's telling everybody who cares to listen how great John is, and it's clear that she's totally in love with him.
Man, I hope she doesn't fall from Cloud 9.
What?
Her song. I'm falling from Cloud 9.
I didn't even know those were the words.
I'm
Look at
wide
you,
awake.
John Jay.
I listen to lyrics,
True
Kyle.
Katy Perry fan, right?
But you're talking about the shuttle service that takes you to the
Right
airport.
there. Now, Katy Perry's BFF Rihanna has been out and about partying like a rock star. In fact, Rihanna was out and about after the iHeartRadio Music Festival, was in a club, and didn't want to, waste any time of her partying time, had to Ralph, and just decided to not go to the bathroom and just take a napkin and right into it, and then keep partying.
She's like an old school
Really?
Roman.
Yeah, she's definitely like a
So
rock star.
I had too much cake.
Right.
She's got the party girl voice now when you hear her talk. She kind of sounds a little like Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, she's cray. Now, Chris Brown is halfway through his 5-year probation from beating up Rihanna in 2009, and he was in court yesterday. It was a hearing to, just kind of catch up on his probation, make sure he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and they took a drug test.
That drug test came out positive for marijuana. You indicated to probation in Virginia that the marijuana was ingested in California, but that you were tested in Virginia and came up positive. And a lot of people look up to you, a lot of kids, and your conduct is important. And so I'm going to remind you that what you do and what you say impacts other people. And basically, conduct yourself accordingly.
It was kind of a stern slap on the wrist for testing positive for drugs, but Chris Brown did, right after he tested positive for drugs, he presented a prescription for weed, which you can get at the drop of the hat in California. And so they're thinking it may not be a big deal if he was smoking weed in California and it's legal for him because he has a prescription for it. It may be all good, but they did schedule a follow-up hearing November 1st to decide whether or not he's violated his probation. Now, they also wanted to look into other matters, his travel restrictions, his fulfillment of community service. So November 1st could be a big day in court for Chris Brown if indeed they think it was a violation of probation, which could be, major drama. Now, I don't know if you heard the rumor Beyonce is pregnant. It's not true. It's not true. There was this picture. They were like, oh my gosh, baby bump. And it's like, no, it's just a weird angle. She's not pregnant. Don't worry. If you heard that rumor, it is not true.
Last time I saw her, she looks pretty awesome.
She looks amazing. 1 hour from now, we're going to get into some drama with Usher's ex-wife, Tamika Foster Raymond, is sounding off on the whole bridesmaid cheating thing. If you can't wait till then, you can log into our website right now, jajamrich.com, keyword GBG.